Hello, thank you for joining us for our webinar today. Our webinar is Easy Nutrition Messages, which is part of Action for Healthy Kids Wednesday Wellness Webinar Series. This is a series of 30-minute webinars offered monthly, and we're really happy that you joined us today. My name is Ellen Dillon, and I'm the Senior Manager of School Breakfast Programs at Action for Healthy Kids. I'm joined today by my colleague, Jill Camber-Davidson, who will be sharing her expertise and knowledge about nutrition education and nutrition messaging with you. Let's go ahead and get started. There's some logistics we want to make sure everyone's aware of, and let's just review them as we get started. Once you're linked in, you'll see a control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. You can use your telephone or speakers to listen to the presentation, but everyone will be muted by default so that we won't have any background noise or static interfering with today's presentation. There's also a dialog box at the bottom of your control panel. You can type questions into the dialog box as we're going along, and we'll try to get them answered later in the presentation or via email following the webinar. As I mentioned, this is only a 30-minute webinar, so we have a lot to cover, but we'll do our best to answer your questions too. The webinar is being recorded. The link to the webinar and the handouts will be sent to you within 2 to 3 business days after the webinar. So you can look for that in your email. Alrighty, so first of all, let's get a little background as to who Action for Healthy Kids is. As we get started, I want to just provide this background for you. Action for Healthy Kids fights childhood obesity, undernourishment, and physical inactivity by helping schools become healthier places. We are moms, dads, teachers, students, school and community leaders, and school wellness experts who have banded together to create healthier learning environments for our children. We believe that everyone has a part to play in ending the nation's childhood obesity epidemic. Our programs, tools, and resources make that possible. We were founded in 2002 by former Surgeon General Dr. David Satcher. Today, we have more than 110,000 members. We're also partner with dozens of professional associations, government agencies, and corporations at the national and local level. This is our recently reported learning connection that shows the connection between healthy behaviors and activities and students' learning. Research shows that healthy eating and physical activity has a positive impact on academic achievement. It leads to more focused classroom behaviors like concentration and memory, and is related to improved mathematics, reading, and writing test scores. If you find this link, it's a very easy to use and easy to read special report that summarizes the most recent research providing that healthy kids are better learners. So we highly encourage you to use this as you're working with those in your community too. The first thing we want to do is go over what our Game On program is. So today's wellness webinar will discuss best practices and strategies related to nutrition messages. Action for Healthy Kids' signature program, Game On, is a free online program that you can use to practice good nutrition and physical activity habits at school. The program is organized as a 6-step process to building a healthy school. In step 4, find activities, there are more than 80 eat better and move more activities, ideas, and strategies that will help your school become a healthier place. And so that's where today's webinar is coming from. We'll reference Game On throughout the webinar today, so I encourage you to check it out and get more resources and ideas to support your program. And as you're looking for these activities, you can click on any of the rooms in the school building to try to find some activities that meet your needs. So here's a list of some of the activities that are associated with easy nutrition messaging on the Game On program. So we've got Celebrate National Nutrition Month, which is in March. We've got nutrition education, nutrition promotion, rethink your drink, smarter lunchrooms, understanding nutrition facts and labels, and others too that might be interesting and ways to share healthy messaging. Today we're focusing on nutrition, but there are also ways to incorporate movement and exercise and healthy fitness exercise to your day as well, so that can be incorporated into your school day. Within each activity, you'll find ideas for taking action, tips for success, ways to engage volunteers, and additional resources that are evidence-based and can help you be successful. Game On is designed for you to be your one-stop shop for school wellness. We'll send a link to Game On as part of the follow-up. So don't worry about trying to capture all of these links. You'll be getting a copy of the slide deck as well as all of these resources as part of your follow-up materials. So at Action for Healthy Kids, we help our members and supporters learn about the issues. We want you to help be able to take action in your schools and work to transform your school culture. Our goal for today's webinar is to help you walk away with understanding the importance of nutrition messaging and its connection to student learning. We want you to be able to gather some ideas and strategies on how to take action to integrate nutrition messaging into your school culture. Lastly, our goal is to help you transform your school culture for the long term to help ensure that every child in your school is healthy and ready to learn. All righty. So nutrition messaging means support for healthy eating by students and school staff. This can include nutrition education opportunities, highlighting menu options, and promoting healthy eating and options to students and school staff. Incorporating messaging outside of the cafeteria and in other locations, whether it's part of the morning's announcements, in art class, as part of a science lesson, or inclusion in parent newsletters. It creates a culture that further supports student wellness, helps reinforce messaging, and demonstrates to students what the school values. The biggest thing we want you to understand is that this does not have to come from those within your cafeteria. Your child nutrition office and your cafeteria workers are great resources, and we want you to tap into them as needed, but this can be done anywhere and by anyone. So you want to be thinking about your messaging being both for the auditory learner as well as the visual learner. So being able to have kids learn by hearing the messaging as well as seeing the messaging. So thinking about how you can display your message. We have a example on the screen here of a poster that could be hung up in the school. It doesn't have to be hung up just in the cafeteria. And then also being able to share your message as part of the speaking opportunities, whether they be morning announcements or something that teachers are teaching and sharing. But you want to be including lots of different messengers sharing similar messages. So think about including your parents and PTA. You can start with your school health team and figure out who can help share these messages and how to coordinate these messages. You can coordinate things around your messages around special observances, monthly observances, whether it be whole grain month or low-fat dairy month or different fruits and vegetable months. You can absolutely use those health observance calendars to help guide your messaging and have it be very coordinated among your school and among those that are sharing the similar messages. But don't limit yourself to just maybe your health teacher or PE teacher. You can incorporate all of your teachers as part of classroom instruction and part of the communications teachers are sharing. You can also include students. Students can be a great resource, whether it be through making posters or helping in sharing messaging or helping to create the messages. And administrators are great leaders, and being able to share this through morning announcements or afternoon announcements are great ways to be able to share the message. So you'll see here there's a question, who else could share healthy messages at your school? Feel free to put that into the message box on the right-hand side, and if there's some interesting and unique folks that you're using in your school to share the message, let us know. We'd love to be able to share that with others too as part of either our webinar today or as follow-up material. Just go ahead and shoot that over. All right. So if you are in the cafeteria and part of the food service division, you might be thinking about how can you share information to students that might be something that you can help promote your meals to help increase participation. So easy strategies are sharing your menu. This can be done, obviously, there's many schools are printing off their menu and sending that home or having it on their website, but you can also be sharing that on a daily basis as part of the end of the day message, sharing what's for breakfast the next morning, what's for lunch the next day. So maybe somebody who might not have been thinking about buying lunch or participating in lunch is going to maybe start thinking about that, or breakfast. It's a reminder that breakfast is being served the next morning. You might want to also be thinking about incorporating your smarter lunchroom strategies. You know, making the food sound and as appealing as it is, as well as making it look as appealing as it might taste. So changing the names of your breakfast sandwich to something that might be very similar to what students are hearing and seeing in restaurants or in the grocery stores or in their local convenience store where they might be picking up breakfast rather than participating at the school breakfast. So being really creative in the way that you are marketing your meals can really help to increase participation as well. Be sure you're sharing your nutritional values as well with parents and students, especially as students are growing up. They're learning that the values of the foods that they're eating are important, and so that they're being more conscious and conscientious about the foods they're choosing to eat. Being able to share that with them is a really good opportunity to not only develop those skills of choice, as well as develop the skills of what makes for a nutritious meal. Offer opportunities for student involvement and incentives. These can be really very creatively done. You might do contests with posters or participation, having students create commercials, or other types of menu design. And the incentives might be something that's not dollar related. So, you know, we know sometimes schools are really, you know, funding is really tight. So you don't have to create that opportunity to buy things for students, but having the students be able to name the food or create some physical activity opportunities are great ways to promote wellness in your school, as well as to really increase your messaging outside of the cafeteria too. So we also, on our website, and we'll be sure to link it out, have part of our Game On challenges or activities is we have a list of 100 daily announcements that could be done. So we might want to encourage you to take a look at that and think about, you know, what other messages that you could be sharing in your school. Again, incorporating others to help choose messages that might be going along with curriculum or activities that are taking place in your school during that time. And now we're going to hear from Jill. Jill's going to be sharing more around nutrition education and promotion, and many resources that are available free of charge to many of us at the school levels. Jill.
Great. Thank you, Ellen. Wanted to talk a little bit about some nutrition education and promotion ideas. Many things are going on in your school that are really great ways to message healthy eating and what your school nutrition program is doing. So taste tests, for example, are wonderful ways that you can coordinate with teachers and conduct a taste test of healthy foods. And it might be that teachers discuss the benefit of the food, school nutrition staff provides the taste test, and it might even be that you have some parents come in and help with that as well. Cultural theme days are another great way to promote nutrition and school food service, and that is that you plan an activity around something that is, you know, Cinco de Mayo on the 5th of May. The menu reflects that. There's a lesson in the classroom, and all that messaging can go home to parents and families, and they can also participate. School gardens. We had a whole webinar on school gardens and talked about the nutrition messages that come from there. So go ahead and look that one up for some ideas there. Cafeteria artwork is always a great one for nutrition education. I know schools that have put up, this was back when the pyramid was still our model, but they would have schools do artwork around nutrition messages and hang it up in the cafeteria. Harvest of the Month is an excellent way to connect what's happening in the classroom, promote healthy messages. So, for example, you can have a special vegetable or fruit for that month, highlight it on the menu, have things in the classroom that you learn about it. And again, it connects to many other ideas, growing in your garden and different taste testing of that same vegetable or fruit. Farm to school messaging going home is another way to promote nutrition. And then, of course, all the curriculum resources that you have, and I'll show those to you shortly in terms of some resources that are available free. Next slide, please, Ellen. So when we do our promotional messaging, we look at how do we connect the classroom, the cafeteria, and home. And really, nutrition education should be linked with the school food environment. The school cafeteria is an excellent location to reinforce nutrition education, but the messages also need to come through from the classroom and to come home. And eating well can really make a difference in a student's ability to achieve in school. We want this to be a very positive learning culture. School-based nutrition education is important as part of the whole comprehensive health program. We look at our cafeteria as a place to continue the learning, whether it be colorful messages, posters, songs and games that might be part of the classroom that carry over to the food in the cafeteria, signage in the cafeteria, the hallways, the classroom, bulletin boards, demos if you're lucky enough to have a chef for your program to do a demo, coming up with some enticing food names that the kids can come up with for the food that's served in the cafeteria. And then even things like we noticed salad bar picture here, coming up with some little colorful labels that the kids can label the food, and it's right there for them to see. Ellen already mentioned incentives and competitions, but you can take it a step further and look at what classroom tries the most different variety of fruits and vegetables, and incorporate these messages into back-to-school night, conference and family activities, and also encourage input for menus, whether it be a naming contest or a photo contest of some healthy meals and snacks. In addition, when you want to really connect that classroom and cafeteria to home, use the school newsletter as a way to highlight activities and highlight nutrition messages. Look at health fairs. You have your booth that, a school nurse might be there and someone might be taking blood pressures, whatever. Have school nutrition there as a way to share what's happening on the menu. And the school website is an excellent tool to connect the classroom, cafeteria, and home. It is very important for most of us to realize that the menu on the school website is one of the most popular pages on that school website. So use that to your advantage and use that menu on there to include different information and activities for family and promote your nutrition messages. Next slide, please, Ellen. When we look at our education on nutrition, here are some sample bulletin boards. One for the season. Here we have Gobble Up Nutrition. All different nutrition tips on a turkey, a vegetable bulletin board here sharing different ways. And this was one you could purchase all ready to go. And the one down in the corner happens to be some of the Action for Healthy Kids posters that's put together as a messaging way. Really, bright, colorful, easy to read. And when you look at your messaging, you want to think about something that's some kind of nutrition skill or piece of knowledge you want to pass along. You may want to put up a bulletin board about understanding food labels or how to look at food advertising. You may want to put something up in terms of the harvest of the month or what's happening in the school classroom. And lastly, if you want to go back one, Ellen, the menu is a wonderful way to promote the message. So put messages on your menu that coordinate with curriculum. Use the harvest of the month material. Put some feature items, whether it be in your salad bar or items that are in your menu itself, promoting breakfast and the importance of fruits and vegetables. You can put a little nutritional tidbit on there about the benefits of snack and supper programs offered by the school. Use colorful pictures to show the food that you offer. And consider sharing healthy recipes that students can make at home or parents can make that reinforce some of the same foods that you have in your school cafeteria. When we start looking at promotion of nutrition messages, they also should be included in your wellness policy messages. Local education authorities need to establish a local wellness policy for all their schools that is required. And a part of that requirement is a goal for nutrition promotion and education, physical activity, and other school-based activities that promote student wellness. So part of that is really supporting the nutrition education program. Look for different programs that support within the classroom. Offer those healthy messages in the cafeteria and offer healthy food in the cafeteria. And these are things that can be actually written right into your wellness policy to support the importance of the nutrition messaging that's happening in your school. It is important to think about as well that you have standard-based sequential nutrition education throughout the sequence of grades. So you might even want to put in your policy how much nutrition education you'd like to see, or what kids will be offered in the classroom. For example, nutrition education will be part of their health education in grades, 8, 10, and 12 or something that gets put in there as a way to keep that in your policy. Next slide, Ellen. You're probably thinking, well, where can I get some of these ideas, or where can I get some resources to help me with this nutrition messaging? And the first place I'm going to have you look is CDC has several resources out there that you can use. One you see on the far left-hand side, increasing access to drinking water in school. This is one that is talking about drinking water, but it gives some ideas in terms of messaging and promoting consumption of water as a healthy beverage. So this would be some really quick, easy ideas that you can put into play to promote water. The middle one is the Parents for Healthy Schools Toolkit. And this has been created as a set of resources that parents can use to help engage other parents in helping schools create a healthy environment. Lots of different ideas you can use here, including letters to send home. And the last piece is a tip for teachers. That's a great resource that outlines actions that teachers can take to promote healthy eating and physical activity in the classroom. You can look at this one as well and share it with your school and look at some evidence-based recommendations. If we look at the Support Healthy Eating at Schools from CDC, there is a lot of resources here, and you notice the tabs along the top that you can see the Celebration and Rewards tab, and we get a little description about the topic. And this one talks about promoting healthy eating and physical activity in the classroom. There's our tip sheet. Healthy food reward, non-food rewards, healthy school celebrations. A lot of different resources are put together here for you as you use healthy messages and want to promote healthy eating at school. The other piece actually looks about the whole school, whole community, whole child model, and has some real important information to share with administrators as well as those that have a key stakeholder in the importance of a healthy school environment. To go to the next slide, this will talk about the Team Nutrition resources. I wanted to share these with you. Team Nutrition is from USDA. It is a free program that any school that participates in the school meals program can sign up for. You just go to the USDA webpage and actually click on the Team Nutrition information, fill out the form, and you're a Team Nutrition school. And as a Team Nutrition school, you are able to access a wealth of free information. They have a Tools for Schools page that is hard to see, but it's highlighted on here, as well as lots of different recipes, gardening resources, My Plate resources, event books, tip sheets you can send home, lots of different great things you can use for free in your school. And these are some ways to get some easy bulletin boards put together, some quick messages to put together, some posters to put up, and some great things to share. Lastly, I want to share the wellness policy tool that I mentioned a little bit about wellness policies and messaging. So if you're looking for more ideas on messaging, step 7 of the wellness policy is communicate the results. If you go to the Action for Healthy Kids website, click on our Tools for School, and then go to the Policy tab, and then you'll find the Wellness Policy Tool tab below that. You can go right to this tool, click on step 7, and you'll be able to have some easy resources here to share what's happening in your school and to promote the great things that are happening in terms of nutrition and physical activity. So Ellen, I'll turn it back over to you.
Great. Thank you, Jill. And one of the things that we also want to talk about is how to make these efforts sustainable. And one way of doing that is to become nationally recognized as a healthy school. Action for Healthy Kids believes very strongly in getting schools nationally recognized. Awards and recognition will help to cement your school's wellness identity, which can be used as a marketing tool for your school. Any positive recognition that your school receives is likely to leave your school community wanting more. Awards and recognition will put your initiatives in a favorable light. One of these programs is the Healthier U.S. Schools Challenge Smarter Lunchroom Initiative, a voluntary initiative established in 2004 to recognize schools in the National School Lunch Program and National School Breakfast Program that have created healthier school environments through the promotion of nutrition and physical activity. The Healthier U.S. Schools Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms Initiative emphasizes developing lifetime healthy habits, and schools that receive the Healthier U.S. Schools Challenge Smarter Lunchrooms Initiative award demonstrates to the community a commitment to school health and wellness. The certification lasts for 4 years, and the criteria is specific for 4 levels of recognition: bronze, silver, and gold award of distinction. Each level also has a monetary award attached to it, ranging from $500 to $2,000. So really think about should your school apply, and whether or not you can build the spirit around school wellness by getting your school awarded. So if you want more information about it, we're happy to provide that to you through Action for Healthy Kids website or one of our local state coordinators who might be able to further assist you. So you can follow up with me afterwards if you're interested in learning more. So if you have any questions, go ahead and make sure you shut them in. We will likely be following up via email after the webinar just because we're running low on time. But we did have some suggestions. We had a suggestion from Sean that nurses are a great way to share messaging as well. So thinking about engaging with your school nurse is a terrific way to share healthy messages, share nutrition messages at your school, whether they be when students are coming in or as part of the morning announcements, or even maybe visiting classrooms and sharing messaging. So thinking about other ways that you might want to be including different experts at your school. So if you haven't already, we encourage you to sign up and follow us on Facebook and on other social media platforms. This will help you to be on the cusp of learning about strategies, success stories, health tips, physical activity games, volunteer opportunities, or more by following us on any of these social media venues. We thank you for participating in our wellness webinar today. A follow-up email with a recording and resources mentioned throughout the webinar will be sent out within 2 to 3 business days. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining us, and if you have any questions, you can follow up with me. My name is Ellen Dillon, Senior Manager of School Breakfast Programs. Thank you and have a great day.